File item 252, AB 1719, Rodriguez. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1719 by Assemblymember Rodriguez and others, enact relating to pupil instruction.
Mr. Rodriguez, you're recognized.
Madam Speaker and members, AB 1719 is a common sense measure that puts more lifesavers in the community by teaching hands-only CPR in California's high schools. Every year, there are almost 326,000 out-of-hospital cardiac arrests, and sadly, only 10% of these victims survive. To date, 32 other states have passed similar legislation. AB 1719 maintains local control by providing school districts with flexibility to choose how to implement CPR instruction. Teaching CPR in our high school students will empower them with the skills needed to increase the chance of survival for cardiac arrest victims. This bill has no opposition and has received no votes. Members, I invite you to join me in creating a generation of lifesavers. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Mr. Allen, you're recognized.
I know I've been a little verbose on the floor today, so to all the members, I'd like to apologize, and particularly people at home. But, I need to rise because if you take a look, if you're a Republican sitting on your desk, you might have the analysis, and our analysis has an oppose on this bill. And it mentions a couple things. Number one, it mentions it's an unfunded mandate. Now, it is very true that this bill would create a new state mandate at a time when our state currently owes about $4 billion in unpaid mandates debt, and only provides $218 million as a mandate block grant. So clearly we have some unfunded mandates to deal with. It also mentions there will be lost instructional time while we're teaching people how to basically help people out with cardiac arrest and teach them CPR. That said, I would challenge everyone on the floor to think back to your days in school and think about the things that you most valued and the things that you remembered most and actually helped you in real life. I can tell you right now that in school I never learned anything about a credit report or how to balance a checkbook or how to make investments. If we start teaching our kids how to save lives, that's probably a real good thing to do. I would say take a second look at this bill and vote aye.
Mr. Rodriguez, you may close.
I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no further debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. Ayes 67, noes 1. The measure passes. File item 253, AB 1755, Dodd. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1755 by Assemblymember Dodd, enact relating to water data.
Mr. Dodd, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And members, I'm pleased to present 1755, the Open and Transparent Water Data Act. Recent climate swings highlight the need to assess our water management system, fix any of its shortcomings, and improve water management techniques. One of those fixes concerns the availability and use of water data. Data exists in many locations on hydrology, water quality, water rights, water use, and much more, and the amount of data is growing. Many water operators and regulators have been unable to harness this information and make timely, science-based decisions that can lead to a more sustainable water future. That's why I partnered with the Bay Area Council, the California Water Foundation, to author AB 1755, which will create a statewide water data information system to integrate critical water data in a user-friendly, public accessible website, and to develop open data protocols for data sharing, transparency, documentation, and quality control. This bill has no opposition and is supported by numerous organizations, including the Association of California Water Agencies, the Metropolitan Water District, the Environmental Defense Fund, and the California Chamber of Commerce. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Ms. Olsen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I, too, rise in support of AB 1755 and urge an aye vote. It promotes open and transparent access to public information without requiring any new information or rules on Californians. The bill will expedite and simplify decision-making in order to support better management of our water resources across the state. The bill is an important step toward an active and efficient water market, private water market, and creates a more sustainable water future for all of our regions. Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no further debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. Ayes 65, noes 3. The measure passes. File item 254, AB 1756, Bonilla. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1756 by Assemblymember Bonilla, enacting to teacher credentialing.
Ms. Bonilla, you're recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker and members. AB 1756 would establish a grant program to incentivize our institutions of higher education to do a fully integrated teacher credential program. One thing I like to say about this bill is if you can go to college for 4 years to become a nurse and make $80,000, you should be able to go to college for 4 years to become a teacher to make $40,000. We know that it costs money for our institutions to actually retool a degree program, but with the teacher shortage, we know that this is very, very timely and very important. Not only will it get our students through and into the classroom as teachers in an expedited fashion, but it will save them a full year, that 5th year, of student debt and living expenses that they currently have to try to pay off on their very low entry-level teacher salaries. So I do ask for your support on this bill. I think it's something that's very important and timely and will help get more teachers at a lower cost into the classrooms more quickly. I ask for your aye vote.
Seeing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. Ayes 71, no 0. The measure passes. File item 255, AB 1765, Irwin. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1765 by Assemblymember Irwin, enacting to state government.
Ms. Irwin, you are recognized.
I rise to present AB 1765, which authorizes the state service organization Cal Volunteers to form a nonprofit entity to accept tax-exempt donations. As the largest state service commission in the country, the organization seeks to increase the number of Californians involved in community service and volunteering. Through a tax-exempt foundation, Cal Volunteers can allow private companies to donate to help support a wider range of service programs. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Seeing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Ayes 71, no 0. The measure passes. Moving to file item 257, AB 1826, Stone. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1826 by Assemblymember Mark Stone, enacting to organic products.
Mr. Stone, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. California has long been a leader nationwide in the organics movement. In fact, it all started here in California with this first statewide organics program. Since then, the federal government has a national organics program that most states tend to rely on. Because we have a federal program and a state program, there is confusion, duplication of processes, duplication of fees. What this bill does, working very closely with CDFA, with farmers, with the regulators, what this bill does is it streamlines the state process to avoid that duplication while still preserving what's important about the state process, namely enforcement. There's no opposition to this bill, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Mr. Gallagher, you're recognized.
Madam Speaker, members, I rise in support of this bill. I saw this in the Agriculture Committee and also Appropriations. It's a good bill, but I also hope that it is the beginning of many more to come to remove burdensome and duplicative regulations that so many other industries face. Certainly we face that in agriculture. The organic industry has discovered that as well. That's why we have this bill before us. But in so many other industries in California, I can tell you, we face the same exact thing. And so I support this bill because of the bill in chief, but also because hopefully it's a precedent for other things that we'll be pushing through this legislature in the future. Thank you.
Seeing and hearing no further debate, Mr. Stone, you may close.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Whether you're a farmer in Beaver or on the coast of Santa Cruz, this is a good bill to support our organics program in California. I ask for your aye vote.
Clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. Ayes 67, noes 1. The measure passes. Pass and retain file item 258. File item 259, AB 1837, Lowe. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1837 by Assemblymember Lowe and others, enacting into post-secondary education.
Mr. Lowe, you are recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker and members. AB 1837 will establish the Office of Higher Education and Performance. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. Clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Aye 64, noes 5. The measure passes. File item 260, AB 1841, Irwin. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1841 by Assemblymember Irwin, enacting into state government.
Ms. Irwin, you are recognized.
Speaker and members, AB 1841 will provide cybersecurity incident response planning within state government. California conducts incident response planning for other types of emergencies such as fires, earthquakes, or public health disasters. But despite a multi-year effort to create such a plan for cybersecurity, we have yet to do so. Ensuring that these preparations are made for cybersecurity will make our state networks more resilient, improve response coordination, reduce recovery time and costs, and ultimately limit the damage that is done. I ask for your aye vote.
Seeing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Aye 72, no 0. The measure passes. File item 261, AB 1847, Stone. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1847 by Assemblymember Mark Stone and others, enacting into tax administration.
Mr. Stone, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. Last year, California passed an historic earned income tax credit. Back in 2008, the state put a rule in place that asked employers to notify their employees of the availability of the federal earned income tax credit. What this bill does is it brings the California EITC into that same notification requirement. It's not a new notification requirement, but it just adds the California EITC to the federal EITC as far as notifying employees, and I ask for your aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Aye 72, no 0. The measure passes. File item 262, AB 1869, Melendez. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1869 by Assemblymember Melendez and others, enacting linked to theft and calling an election to take effect immediately.
Ms. Melendez, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, 2 years ago, California voters passed Prop 47, which changed our criminal sentencing structure. There were significant unintended consequences that came along with the passage of Prop 47. Specifically, the theft of a firearm, as long as it is valued under $950, is now considered a misdemeanor and punishable by a ticket. AB 1869 would restore the penalties for theft of a firearm and gun trafficking to what they were prior to the passage of Prop 47. It is joint authored by my colleague, the Assemblyman from Merced, has received bipartisan support, is sponsored by the California State Sheriff's Association, California District Attorneys Association, California Peace Officers Association. It has also received support from the Brady campaign. With that, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Mr. Allen, you are recognized.
Question to the author.
Permission granted. Permission granted.
Under the current law, what's the what kind of level of crime is it to steal a pack of gum from a convenience store? Let's say, or off your desk.
I'm sorry, say again?
In current law, if you have a pack of gum on your desk and someone was to steal it, is that, what sort of crime is that? Is it a felony?
It's the misdemeanor.
It's a misdemeanor.
Correct.
If someone takes a firearm...
Well, as long as it's not a $951 pack of gum, it would be a misdemeanor.
Well stated. Well stated. One I have not seen. Well,
excuse me. There's no debate on this on the floor.
No debates intended, Madam Speaker. So if someone steals a pack of gum, which arguably is $1 or $2 at most, it's a misdemeanor. If someone steals a firearm, that's valued at less than $950. Keep in mind that, ladies and gentlemen on the floor.
Mr. Allen, what is your question for the author?
Madam Speaker, if I may, I'm getting to my question right now. I need to clarify what my question is. A Glock handgun on the market, a 9mm, $500 brand new. So if someone was to steal a Glock handgun, what would the penalty be under current law?
Well, again, under the current law, under Prop 47, which was passed by the voters, that would now be a misdemeanor as long as it is valued at under $950.
So essentially what you're saying, on my own time, Madam Speaker, according to current law, ladies and gentlemen, stealing a pack of gum is equivalent to stealing a handgun. This is clearly wrong. I urge an aye vote on AB 1869.
Mr. Gray, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Members, there is certainly plenty of room for politics and posturing in and around this issue. I have joined with my good friend, Assemblywoman Melendez, in joint authoring this legislation. And I just want to say, this is, it's clear that voters, certainly in my district, and I think that California as a whole, this is an unintended consequence. People did not mean to allow for the theft of a firearm to be a misdemeanor. This is a clear-headed fix. It'll go on the ballot, and the voters can weigh in at that point. I would encourage everyone to support this. Thank you.
Ms. Melendez, you may close.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to thank my colleague from Orange County for trying to drive home a point that the stealing of a firearm should not be placed in the same classification as stealing a pack of gum. And with that, members, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no further discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Ayes 75, no 0. The measure passes. Pass and retain file item 263, file item 264, AB 1958, Wood. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 1958 by Assemblymember Wood, an act relating to forestry.
Dr. Wood, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. Oak woodlands play an important role in sustaining healthy ecosystems across California. Unfortunately, California's oak woodlands have been disappearing at a rapid rate. In my rural district, this loss of oaks is due in part to the encroachment of conifers. Conifers grow rapidly in oak woodlands and quickly overtop, shade out, and eventually kill oaks that often have been growing there for hundreds of years. AB 1958 seeks to make it possible to protect oaks from the conifer encroachment by clarifying that removing conifers for oak restoration does not constitute a conversion from timberland, and by creating a narrow exemption from the timber harvest plan for landowners who want to restore oak in their woodlands. This bill received unanimous support in committee, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. Ayes 70, no 0. The measure passes. Pass and retain file item 265. Pass and retain file item 266. File item 267, AB 2107, Frazier. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2107 by Assemblymember Frazier, an act relating to vehicles.
Mr. Frazier, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. AB 2107 codifies the current DMV pilot program that allows motor carriers to complete certain registration transactions remotely through an industry partner. This bill will ensure that the trucking industry has immediate and convenient access to interstate registration credentials. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Ayes 69, no 0. The measure passes. File item 268, 2170, Frazier. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2170 by Assemblymember Frazier and others, an act relating to transportation.
Mr. Frazier, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. AB 2170 ensures that federal monies designated for state freight projects will be distributed using proven methodologies and that funds are leveraged so we get more bang for our buck. Specifically, the bill would direct the $116 million in federal funds that will be coming to the state annually to the Transportation Commission's Trade Corridor Improvement Fund. This bill will ensure that key investments are made in our trade corridors that in turn will improve our economy and create jobs. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. Ayes 73, noes 0. The measure passes. File item 269, AB 2177, Mainshine. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2177 by Assemblymember Mainshine, an act relating to victims of crime.
Mr. Mainshine, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. Today I'm presenting AB 2177 regarding the distribution of funding from the Federal Victims of Crime Act, known as VOCA. The VOCA funds, which are administered by the Office of Emergency Services, bring important and needed victim services to communities across the state where people have suffered trauma and loss as a result of crime. This body will be required to meet publicly to provide a venue for community and stakeholder feedback that features the voice of survivors of crime. Thank you for your time and the opportunity to present AB 2177. I respectfully request your aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the vote. Ayes 76, noes 0. The measure passes. File item 270, AB 2179, Gibson. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2179 by Assemblymember Gibson, an act relating to public health.
Mr. Gibson, you are recognized.
Madam Speaker and members, I rise to present Assembly Bill 2179, which seeks to give local government greater flexibility related to training of non-medical personnel to administer the rapid test for hepatitis C in community settings. I respectfully ask for an aye vote. This received no opposition.
Seeing and hearing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Ayes 74, noes 0. The measure passes. File item 271, AB 2190, Salas. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2190 by Assemblymember Salas and others, an act relating to healing arts.
Mr. Salas, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. AB 2190 is a sunset extension of the California Acupuncture Board. This is a bill that we heard we had a sunset review between business and professions in the Assembly and the Senate. Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Ayes 73, noes 1. The measure passes. File item 272, AB 2191, Salas. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2191 by Assemblymember Salas and others, an act relating to professions and vocations.
Mr. Salas, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is another sunset bill for the Board of Behavioral Sciences. Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Ayes 71, noes 1. The measure passes. File item 273, AB 2192, Salas. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2192 by Assemblymember Salas and others, an act relating to professions and vocations.
Mr. Salas, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Another sunset bill, this one for the Court Reporters Board of California and its executive officer. Respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Ayes 76, noes 0. The measure passes. File item 274, AB 2193, Salas. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2193 by Assemblymember Salas and others, enacting into professions and vocations.
Mr. Salas, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yet one more sunset bill for the floor. This one's for BPM and PAB, Board of Podiatric Medicine and Physician Assistant Board. So, respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no discussion or debate, the clerk. Seeing and hearing no further discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Aye 74, no 0. The measure passes. File item 275, AB 2207, Wood. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2207 by Assemblymember Wood, enacting into Medi-Cal.
Dr. Wood, you are recognized.
Madam Speaker and members, AB 2207 makes significant improvements to the California Denti-Cal program. Numerous reports, including those published by the California State Auditor, the Federal Office of the Inspector General, and the Little Hoover Commission, have highlighted the challenges with our broken Denti-Cal system. In 2014, almost half of all eligible Californians did not receive dental care that they were eligible for. Additionally, dentists report that low reimbursement rates and slow, outdated, paper-based administration and billing processes hinder provider participation and impede access to care. AB 2207 will streamline the enrollment process for providers, ensure that provider networks are up to date so that beneficiaries can more rapidly access providers, improve coordination of care for beneficiaries, and increase DHCS oversight of the Denti-Cal program. The bill has bipartisan unanimous support, and I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Seeing and hearing no discussion or debate, the clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Aye 76, no 0. The measure passes. File item 276, AB 2231, Calderon. The clerk will read.
Assembly Bill 2231 by Assemblymember Calderon, enacting into care facilities.
Mr. Calderon, you're recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. AB 2231 will increase the civil penalties for repeat violations other than death or serious bodily injury in licensed community care facilities. In recent years, California has made it a priority to improve the quality of life for those in community care facilities by increasing oversight of those facilities to ensure that our most vulnerable populations, children and the elderly, receive the care that they deserve. In 2014, the governor signed legislation by our great assembly member from San Diego to increase civil penalties assessed for violations that resulted in death, serious bodily injury, or physical abuse of a person receiving care in a facility licensed by the Department of Social Services. AB 2231 increases the civil penalties for repeat violations beside death or serious bodily injury based on the risk to the health or safety of an individual in care. Civil penalty amounts for violations in these facilities have not been increased in almost 30 years. By increasing civil penalties, this bill provides a long overdue adjustment and will once again make civil penalties a relevant tool to achieve compliance and ensuring the health and safety of those in these care facilities. This bill reaches the floor with having received bipartisan support and has yet to receive a single no vote. This last week I had a stakeholder meeting, and I am very confident that we're going to be able to get to a point of no opposition or get to some better agreement on the bill. But to this point, it's been a good bill, it's been a great process, and respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Ms. Brown, you are recognized.
Thank you. As Chair of Aging and Long-Term Care, I want you to know that we support this bill, or I support this bill, and I'm so happy that young people understand the silver tsunami.
Ms. Grove, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I appreciate the author's enthusiasm to take amendments to remove opposition, because with the bills that were passed a couple of years ago, $14 million, for instance, on a 6-bed facility for liability insurance, I know that you can't defend people even in 6-bed facilities that harm or hurt patients, but the bottom line is that $14 million in the cost of liability insurance and other costs that are associated with taking care of the elderly and the disabled hurts smaller 6-bed facilities, because you can spread some of those costs over 500 patients, but not cost over 6 patients. And a lot of times the people that I met with all around the state regarding these 6-bed facilities are taking care of our World War II veterans, a large population of our LGBT community, and many other individuals. And they take care of those individuals for the amount of of money that they receive on a monthly basis. And that might even be $1,200 a month up to $2,500 a month. And I heard one 6-bed facility takes care of someone for $600 a month because that's all they can afford. So if you eliminate these 6-bed facilities and you only have large facilities, where will the people that need care go? So I appreciate the author working with the opposition on the 6-bed facilities to at least split somehow the penalties. So if there is abuse that is addressed and is a deterrent, but it's not enough to put these 6-bed facilities out of business, because they do provide an excellent service for our elderly and our disabled. Thank you.
Mr. Allen, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd also like to rise in support, and I'd like to note something on this, because there's been a lot of concern about bills like this putting out of business small facilities. And make no mistake, with the graying of America, everyone's going to be needing these facilities for one of your family members, one of your relatives. There's a massive need for these facilities. We can't put them out of business, but at the same time, we absolutely have to make sure that the people that we're putting in those facilities, our loved ones, are taken care of. And if someone's not being taken care of appropriately, there absolutely should be penalties. So I really applaud the author for bringing this up. It's 30 years overdue. And as a last note, what I'd really like to point out is in the bill, it increases civil penalties, but very importantly, because oftentimes in this body, we like to increase penalties, we like to increase fees and fines and all of these things. But there's something in this bill that I'd like to highlight that makes this different than many of the other efforts and definitely makes it laudable and supportable. And this is that it increases civil penalties if the facility fails to correct a deficiency after being provided a specified length of time to correct that penalty. So it's not simply you're not in compliance, here's your penalty. It's you're not in compliance, fix it. If you don't fix it, then you get charged. It's a great bill. Thank you.
Seeing and hearing no further discussion, Mr. Calderon, would you like to close?
I want to thank my colleagues for their kind words and I look forward to continuing to work on this bill. Thank you, and I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
The clerk will open the roll. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. All those vote who desire to vote. The clerk will close the roll and tally the votes. Aye 68, no 0. The measure passes.